certain topics like video games. They tend to be really interested in the video games, and everything else just kind of goes out the window. Autism and occupational therapy. Before a therapist performs any kind of therapy, an evaluation must be done by the therapist, and they look to see if the child or adult can perform as they're expected to do at their age. For example, getting dressed and playing games are very common. Some physical activities include Twister, Simon Says, puzzles, and stringing beads. Anything that will help with coordination and fine and gross motor movement. Developmental activities are the daily activities that we don't even think twice about. For example, brushing hair, brushing teeth, and tying shoes are very common, and they need help with those. Adaptive strategies are strategies used for those who don't follow the normal pattern that therapists are supposed to follow. For example, a child may have a hard time with their hand and need hand therapy to open their hand, and they might not want to. So a therapist has to get around that obstacle, and for a little girl, they might paint the girl's nails so that she'll want to open her hand, and it helps to be creative, definitely. So some facts about autism. Some of the most famous and well-known people have been known to have autism: Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, and Sir Isaac Newton. Some interesting facts are that 1 in 68 children will be autistic this year, and 1 in 42 boys are autistic. And so that means that boys are 5 times greater to have it be autistic than girls. So on average, it costs a family with an autistic child $60,000 a year to provide needs for that child. The cause of autism is unknown, however, we do know that it is genetically based. Because in identical twins, if one twin is autistic, the other twin has an 80 to 90% chance of being autistic too. But in fraternal twins, it's only a 3 to 10% chance. Letting us know that it is genetically based. I have been at St. Luke's for 6 years, and I've been a part of the Biomed program for 3. I learned about occupational therapy because one day I was talking with my mom, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do something in the medical field, but I don't like the blood in the guts. And she said, what about occupational therapy? So my sophomore year, we had an occupational therapist come and talk to our class, and I really, really liked it. And when I shadowed this year, one of my job shadows, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I knew that is exactly what I wanted to do. And this fall, I will be attending the University of South Alabama. I will be getting my major in exercise science, and during my junior year, I will apply to occupational therapy school. It is very competitive, and it's a 2.5-year program. This year, I went to the Japonica campus, and I got to do a sensory activity with 2 kindergarten classes. I really enjoyed it, and when I walked in, everybody sat in a circle, and I explained what texture was, and we all gave examples of different kinds of textures. And at the end, I gave each child a hand that they could take home and show their parents. And if you walk out after my speech to my trifold poster, you get to see one. My mentor this year was Christy Murchison. She is a physical therapist at Encore Rehab. Some of you might say, why would your mentor be a physical therapist? Well, she has precedence over a lot of occupational therapists. So she has a lot of connections for me, and she really, really helped me. Also, I babysit her children. So when I interviewed for the babysitting job, she was asking me questions like, where do you want to go to school? What do you want to do? And I said, occupational therapy, South Alabama. And she said, I'm a physical therapist. Let me know if you need job shadowing hours or anything. I'll help you. So I got the job, and she's definitely been helpful. This year, I have shadowed Victoria Rowan at Bluebird Pediatric Therapy. I watched her work with two children with disorders, and I saw her interact with them, and I could really tell that she loved her job. And she got to make a difference in children's lives, and that's what I wanted to do. So I absolutely fell in love with it, and I wanted to do what she did. I also shadowed Bennett Cope at USA Orthopedic Rehabilitation Center. I watched him work with 2 patients who had Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a disorder of the central nervous system that affects movement. So he did a program that's specified for Parkinson's disease. And it's very interactive, and he did a lot of movement with the patients. And it was very humorous, so I enjoyed the geriatric age group. And I'm glad I don't have to decide between pediatric or geriatric tonight. So thank you.